Craig, you talked about the ripple effect. It's never just the thing. It ends up going big. Now, obviously, the life issue, we've seen that happen. We've got another big thing in the room, big element in the elephant in the room, and that is the redefinition of marriage. You know, and just recently I moderated a debate between Jonathan Rauch and Glenn Stanton, Focus on the Family, on same-sex marriage. Fascinating discussion. And again, Jonathan says, my ability to get married won't impact you. It won't impact your family. Right. Talk about the ripple effects that come on a cultural level when we redefine marriage.
Yeah, and it really is, because this is a huge rock thrown in the middle of a very small pond in terms of the effect. We see here at NRB a direct and immediate result in terms of suppression of speech. And it's not all going to be official. It may not necessarily trip the tripwire of hate speech or hate crimes, but culturally there will be an attitude of suppression. When the Southern Poverty Law Center lists some of our members as official hate groups, and then schools,
as they already
have, and then the Department of Justice brings in Morris Dees, the founder of the Southern Poverty Law Center, brings him in to lecture the prosecutors, the federal prosecutors who will be prosecuting these laws, about diversity and tolerance, and calls him in private emails that have recently surfaced a hero of America. We can see that there's going to be official prosecution, but there will be more impact felt in terms of cultural. Public schools will be teaching curriculum saying this is an acceptable lifestyle. I remember being in the Senate testifying against a law that would really require a lot of Christian organizations to hire homosexuals. And after I testified, one of the senators said, you know, this isn't just about tolerance. We're way beyond that. This is about acceptance. And now that's what we've been saying all along, but we will be forced to accept, and then we'll be viewed, obviously, as heretics. So I think the culture is going to blow back, and there will be intimidation. I think if you look at the history of the gay rights movement, it's been successful because of smart strategy and bold intimidation. And I think the intimidation will come the same way it came in Proposition 8. A lot of folks being pressured, intimidated, harassed on their places of business, and in terms of boycotts. And we have to be prepared for that, I think.
It seems that there are really two key indicators on this culturally, Craig. One is the fact that the Obama administration actually filed an amicus brief recently, yes. Right? Maybe you can speak to that a little bit more. I mean, we've never had a sitting president do something like that. I mean, not only did he evolve on this issue, he evolved and mutated on this issue, you know, pretty quickly, I think. And the other one, which was really striking to me, and Craig, I want to hear your thoughts on this, was you know, in 2008, at the first inauguration, Rick Warren was asked to give the prayer. And that same election year, he had sent out a video in support of Proposition 8, which effectively limited the definition of marriage. 4 years later, fast forward, Louis Giglio gets the invitation. He hasn't said anything really on marriage publicly for 20 years. They resurrect an old tape and go crazy, and the Obama administration quickly responds on this. These seem like pretty big cultural indicators.
Yeah, it really is. And just from an anecdotal standpoint, observing and being involved in these cultural issues, just my perspective that liberty really is an equilibrium. You cannot create new rights in one category without, as a necessary corollary, probably taking away someone else's rights. Now, when we said in the Civil Rights Act that African Americans and other minority groups racially would have equal rights, the countermanding rights we took away, or the power we took away, were from the neo-Nazi groups and from groups that believed in official discrimination based on race. And that's an equilibrium change that we all agreed to because it made sense. In fact, it was biblically rooted, quite frankly. But the equilibrium transfer now is that we are going to enlarge the definition of marriage. And going back to your question, well, how does this really affect you? Same argument about, if I have an abortion, how is that going to affect you? Well, here's how it's going to affect all of us. You know, the Supreme Court hasn't talked about marriage and family really substantively since about 2000. If they redefine family in this way, number one, the secularists out there in our camps, the people who agree with us perhaps because they're conservatives but not Christians, need to know that there's an economic impact that will occur in terms of health insurance premiums, in terms of the marital estate tax deduction, a myriad of things that aren't being talked about. But then in terms of the family itself, there's a burden of proof problem here. If civilizations, thousands of years before the United States, have all believed in what Scalia called the unitary family, a man and a woman and children related to each other by blood, living under the same household. Didn't work perfectly. Adultery has always been rampant. Sin has always been there. But it's the paradigm. Civilizations have held for thousands of years. If we're going to change it, because of a few decades since a riot in Greenwich Village back in the 60s, where the gay rights movement started, we're going to jettison thousands of years of wisdom, of uniform belief of all religions about what marriage is supposed to be, because of a few decades of experience of people who have practiced smart intimidation. Then we really need to recalculate how we make decisions in the country. So I think, again, history will be a great teacher if we can articulate that.